Man, that sunset is gorgeous.
Grill, patio, sunset. Hard to get better than that. Unless you're browsing Carvana's inventory while you soak it all in.
Oh, burger time.
So sit back, get comfortable. Carvana's got thousands of cars under $20,000 just waiting for you.
I could stay here forever.
Carvana, where car buying meets comfort, meets convenience. Download the app or visit Carvana.com today. That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable. Ah.
The story of the human race has become increasingly rich and complex as we make new discoveries at a blazing pace. New species of hominids, artifacts, and structures like Göbekli Tepe are challenging the old theories and assumptions we had about our early ancestors. Still, in many circles, what is considered the hallmark of the most advanced cultures always seems to be the pyramid. Monuments that have lasted for thousands of years, watching the rise and fall of the once great empires that surrounded them. But in 2005, it was claimed that there had been a discovery of pyramids that dwarfed those that had been a landmark of the Giza Plateau and those in the jungles of Central America. In the town of Isoko, one man believes he has uncovered pyramids left behind and crafted by an advanced culture that existed in the area of Bosnia-Herzegovina. What evidence is there of these magnificent structures? Are they truly the sign of the presence of a fantastically advanced pre-Ice Age civilization? Or are they more akin to a tourist trap roadside attraction on an international scale? Join the theorists as they poke around and feel the power of the Bosnian pyramids.
Welcome to Alien Theorist Theorizing, Case File 128, the Bosnian Pyramids. I'm Braden.
I'm Zoe.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
Booyakasha.
The only thing I'm going to say first off is, it's you're welcome and for coming back on.
Gracing us with your presence.
Yeah, you're welcome. So
the king has returned. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All hail, grovel at his feet. The man has returned from spending all of our Patreon money on who knows what.
Yep.
Yes. Buy a new fucking Ginch because he keeps shitting his pants.
Well,
He had to get a new camera because his head got so big. He had to move the camera back a little bit.
Yeah. You guys finished?
Obviously not making enough money for that nose job, though, are you? Hey?
Nope. Still crooked. What is that?
Juice box.
A juice box.
When your vocal cords are as valuable as mine, you have to keep them well lubricated, and it's important to stay hydrated. Being number one, this is tough, but
wait, is this like a infused, like a CBD infused juice box or something? Or
no, it's an Arizona iced tea juice box.
Just a regular.
Only the best. Only the best.
I bet you it's empty, and he's just doing this for fun.
I found it in the trash, and I was like, "This will be a good gimmick." No, I was sad to miss last week. I feel like I had a good Iron Man streak going.
Yeah, that's the first miss in a while. I think you've only missed 3. I missed a couple. Well, Dan
Andrew missed the
I don't know
whole
where she
beginning.
is.
Andrew missed the first 3 quarters.
What? What? Who's on first? Me or Dan?
Andrew's on first. I think you told a ghost story.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Like I'm not sure what. Like it was early on, like 6 or something.
Yeah.
Dan came on for I think high jump was his first number. Was that 7? 7 or 8? Early.
Whoa.
That was back when Dan had the shittiest. We had the shittiest mic set up, and like Skype was so brutal.
Well, you're also recording halfway across the world, so.
You know what though? Your skill set was better back then because you're doing less with more now. And before you were like, polishing turds, which was audiophiles.
And the audio.
Yeah.
Well, back then I didn't really know anything about audio, so I just put it all out how it was.
It'll be
so
fine.
stay
Don't worry
tuned
about
for
it.
the back end of 2020 when you're going to get ATT remastered.
I've listened back to some of them, and I want to remaster, and then I go back and some of the files are corrupt. I'm like, it's over.
Lost
Yeah,
cause.
we didn't back up anything. I think before the first
85 pre ATT case file 85. If the internet goes down and like our podcast server goes down, they're gone forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Well, which is good because then we've got a whole bunch of content to do. Just rehash old ideas. Should we get right into it? Bosnian pyramids.
Let's talk about
the world famous Bosnian pyramids.
those ones.
So-
Those are the ones.
I'm sure everyone knows that the mark of a great civilization are pyramids. The Egyptians had them.
Boom.
The Mayans and Aztecs had them.
Check.
And there are others that are alleged to be around the world. You have some that are believed to be in some provinces of China. People believe that they have found pyramids there.
They have.
What?
They have. There's China.
Right. They have them from China where they've reported. I haven't seen any like real pictures. Or
Like
anything.
what? Like Indonesia's got pyramids. Doesn't like Cambodia got some pyramids?
Like step temples, yeah, step pyramids and
temples.
stuff like that.
Similar,
Pyramids.
similar resemblance.
Right.
Don't start discriminating against pyramids, Dan.
So
We're an inclusive show here.
I'm right. I have to think globally. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My bad.
Come on. We talked about this.
So in Bosnia, Herzegovina, there are a certain amount of regular hills that are in a town named Visoko that at least one person believes that they are the world's largest pyramids. That one person
Huge.
being one Sam Osmanagic, and he is an amateur archaeologist, and he put forth the idea beginning in 2005 when he took a trip to the town of Visoko, and he observed these hills while on a tour, and he said, hey, these look too regular, too uniform to be solely natural formations, that these perhaps could be pyramids. And he has made it one of his life goals to prove to the world that these hills are more than hills.
Then more than meets the eye.
Right.
That's one of them.
Now,
If you're watching the live stream,
how come me and Dan can't see you guys?
you can't see me.
No,
What?
I
How about
can't
now?
see your Skype feed.
How
Oh,
about
there,
now?
there we go. Ha ha. Now I can see. If you look at the how do you say that? Visica Hill in Bosnia. I mean, that one, it looks like it. I mean, it really has the angled shapes. The other one, that one right there, that's the one. That when I look at that, I go, okay.
Looks
All
like
right,
a pyramid.
Well, so far, like I'm sold on it a little bit. The other one's a little bit of a stretch. The Jasevica, that one, the other one,
Is that the moon? Pyramid of the moon?
that's the Pyramid of the Moon. I could see walking around and I'd just be like, hill. That's a hill. I wouldn't maybe have the same look at it. But the other one, right away, you're like, wow, that is quite uniform. There are like naturally occurring like rock formation, mountain range. What are the Flatirons? They're called,
Yeah.
I believe.
Mhm.
But
We have some in the U.S.
this is like the Visosica. I think that's how you say it. Visosica. That one is so uniform. Like it looks so pyramid. It looks like a overgrown pyramid.
Yeah,
What it looks like.
When you say like those Flatirons, they are like kind of pyramidal, but not. They don't look like that. Usually, they're more like all going one way. They don't really have four sides that kind of look the same. When I looked them up, especially like the ones in was it just outside Boulder, Colorado?
Yeah.
They're like sharp. They kind of look like peaks in like Apex Legends, kind of like sharp, angular peaks, but not really a pyramid. Because they're more like on a hill facing upwards rather than like its own mountain kind of thing.
So I know they've done some archaeological work on the site. What do they date if this is in fact a pyramid? What do they date it at?
It's like 30,000 years old.
Well, there is claims, but I think when he first discovered it, what didn't he think it was about 12,000 is what he claimed, about 12,000, like last ice age kind of time. And then they did more carbon dating and went up to, what was it?
I think it's 34,000 years.
It was that old? Jesus.
Yeah. So like let's go on that. So like if we think 34,000 years old, if there's a pyramid in Bosnia buried in overgrowth, 34,000 years old, what's Gilbeki Tepe at?
That one's like 12,000. That one's end of the last ice age, 12,000 something.
Yeah. So this would double that. We don't even have. I don't even know what humans were doing that long ago. Because 12,000 years ago, we were largely thought to be hunter and gathering. I thought.
Well, like that, isn't it? I thought the earliest civilizations were only 10,000 years old.
Well, like they say the first civilizations wasn't that like through Sumer? Wasn't that like that's what
that cradle of civilization area? Yeah.
Mesopotamia.
6,000 was the first civilization, but they said like 12,000 years ago was maybe the dawn of agriculture and farming.
Mm-hmm.
So before then, we'd be hunting and gathering.
Following herds. That's what they say. Like following nomadic, following the food. If it's like one season they'd be hunting, the next season they'd be picking berries, the next season they'd be doing this, and so on.
So not a lot of time to build megalithic structures.
Aliens.
According
Dude,
to
I don't want to say aliens quite yet.
Aliens.
Not quite yet. However, it's tingling on the tongue, as always.
Well, that's like realistically is like 34,000 years ago, unless we're getting into like a previous civilization that had advanced technology that was essentially wiped out by the ice age or something. There is no record of even them having the tools or the know-how to build a structure like this and to be the largest pyramid on Earth.
By far.
Yeah.
What's this one? The Great Pyramid's like 200 and something, and this pyramid was...
I think it's 700?
722 feet.
Jesus. Oh, yeah. It was like 200 and... Great Pyramid's 220 meters or something.
Giza is 147 meters.
Oh, 147, and this one is 220 meters tall. Claimed to be.
Making them the larger pyramids. And Osmanagic, the guy who makes most of these claims, he's actually named a couple of the pyramids. Like he's solely responsible for naming the pyramids. The ones being, what is it? The Pyramid of the Sun, Pyramid of the Moon, Pyramid of the Dragon is another one. And I think it was Pyramid of the
Earth.
One?
It's Pyramid of the Earth.
Pyramid of the Earth, right?
And then he's also identified other structures and surrounding hills that may also be man-made.
Right. So this might have been
a complex.
His observations, he makes the claim that this was some sort of complex, some sort of perhaps some kind of a temple complex or something like that.
Isn't this like let's say it is a pyramid? Is this the only pyramids in Europe?
I think so.
I don't know of any others.
I think this is the only one in the continent of Europe. I think they found mounds and stuff, but no actual.
Well, because I remember there was those like the giant burial fucking sites or whatever that they had those big mounds, but
They had. I think they had definitely had all those mounds in like northeastern United States. Those Ohio burial mounds.
So
and
it wasn't.
stuff.
It was in.
But I think there is also mounds. They found like mounds in England, in the like United Kingdom area, and all through Europe. So they like no pyramids though, as far as not yet, not until the Bosnian pyramid, the biggest and most badass pyramid ever to be discovered on this planet, says a few people.
There's one person.
So this hill was just standing in civilization, and everyone just thought it as a hill, right? So
Yes.
how did this guy just stumble upon and make the connection that, hey, this is man-made? Did he find something to start?
No, he just looked at it.
And the curiosity got him, and he's like, this looks like a pyramid.
Yeah,
I should start digging,
pretty much.
which is fair.
Eh,
No, you can. Why not? You can start digging. That's fine.
I know you could do that, but usually, well, yeah, you can. You can dig anywhere you want. If you're never going to know until you dig. So, he saw something that he believed that this is a pyramid, but I would say that the problem with that is it's not usually, but again, it might be an advantage that it's not how archaeologists usually work. The traditional archaeologists usually look for evidence of something in that area. Like okay, I found, large regularly shaped blocks. That's weird. We should dig here for something. I don't know what I'm looking for yet, but I'm trying to make sure that these regularly shaped blocks are part of something bigger. Or, I'm trying to make sure that these aren't naturally formed, right? You usually don't go into, because some people would say that's not good science, is if you go into something with an already like a predetermined, destination, you're just going to try and find stuff that proves your point.
But wasn't there there's got to be stuff like, who was it that found Troy? Weren't they looking for the city of Troy forever, and they were actually looking for it, and they did end up finding it? So like they had
right, they were looking for it, and then they found evidence of like, I think Troy's here because there are
there's writings.
Well, there's stories. There's
Right.
like, it's not like just randomly out of, there's no text saying, oh, there's pyramids in Bosnia.
Now what about
Right.
wasn't a Göbekli Tepe found in like the basement of a house doing a renovation?
Well, they already kind of knew, like Göbekli Tepe, the area that it was built on, which the locals have called like Potbelly Hill.
Right.
They knew about it. They knew that had been used, or they had assumed that most of the people in the area assumed that it was a burial mound. It was just like, oh, people is buried there. It's been there forever.
Right.
It's not that big a deal. Until people started doing, the in-depth. Were they doing the ground sonar or ground penetrating sonar? Maybe.
I think that they started.
They just started digging a little, right?
They started excavating because they thought it was like a medieval site, and it ended up being
right.
Yeah.
And then they found more.
Okay,
so there was something there.
On that point, on Göbekli Tepe, early on as well, when they were making claims about age and stuff, they were getting a lot of flack from the community just because of the age they were saying, until they dug it out more, and then it was irrefutable, and they're like, oh, this is actually crazy. Okay, this is real.
You're talking about Göbekli Tepe, right?
Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
Now, they have found medieval artifacts and stuff in the Bosnian pyramids.
So
Right.
in and
That
around
that
there.
area of Visoko, like that area it's only 20 miles northwest of Sarajevo. And that area has been settled for a long time. There were Neolithic and some early Paleolithic cultures that lived in that area. I think the Bootmere culture had settled there, and they were a culture that was kind of under the influence of like the Adriatic cultures and that. So they did find, archaeologists have dug in those areas, and they have found ceramic artifacts, and there are evidence of planned settlements all over that area, right? And it has also been settled through the Greco and Roman areas. So finding things, in the ground, digging stuff up, you'd probably find stuff all over the place.
okay, so this guy sees the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
He decides like, hey, maybe I should start poking around. What was his what was his first discovery that like led him because like, to get like a thing like this needs massive, like it needs at least some funding, right? You need volunteers. Like, what drew people to like come work with this dude?
Really, I think part of it is that the one thing that he pushes as his irrefutable proof, or one of his big pieces of evidence, are these large stone slabs he likes to show.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have pictures of it. Like, there's large stone slabs that they say are made of like a type of cement like conglomerate that seems man-made. I don't know if they have pictures of it. He likes to show those all the time.
Yeah, the conglomerate layers that,
Right.
and there's some that are in the form of stairs.
Right. He says some of them are in the form of stairs, or some of them are kind of look like they've been placed at, regular angles to each other. So kind of like a tile-like formation.
dude, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Some of these, unless they carved these in place somehow and made them look old, some of these look pretty cool. So there's that one. That one looks like a fucking. We're looking at the picture here. It looks kind of like a sidewalk. It looks like segmented stones with a little channel in the middle,
Oh, it totally does.
right? At least this one does.
But like, so that was his biggest claim for this to being man-made?
Well, then this.
I mean, that's what he pushed as this kind of like the first
Start.
proof, I think, is his big kind of thing, is like, hey, look at these. There's no way that these could be that's his belief is that there's no way that these could be naturally formed.
Well, and because like when I was reading it, there was tons of similarities between these and like the Great Pyramids of Giza and stuff like that. Like, apparently these ones all orientate with cosmetic north.
Well, so once he got the funding for all this stuff and he started poking around, he realized that one side of all these pyramids they are facing north. But that to me is not, I don't think, uncommon with mountain, like any type of rock face. Like,
Yeah, it's if it has four like faces, it's like one is probably going to point north.
and he says
Well,
they
it's
point.
with cosmic north, and apparently it's 15 times more accurate than the Pyramid of Giza.
What do you mean cosmic north?
That's just from what I read. That's what it states.
'Cause there's magnetic north, which drifts year to year.
Cosmic north is whatever way you point into the sky. That's cosmic north,
It's
never
like,
ending.
oh, they align to the north, like magnetic north. Yes, magnetic north, but magnetic north is over there. No, I'm not talking about magnetic north. I'm talking about cosmic north. That way, it's like, what?
I actually gotta look. While we're talking here, I'm gonna look up what cosmic north even fucking means.
Yeah, so he finds these stone slabs which look man-made. When they start digging, this is where he gets his carbon sample from. That's what he claims, right? He sends us in, comes back at about like 30,000 years, give or take, and he dates. That's how he gets his date. He dates that carbon dating from the organic material found. I think he found like a leaf, kind of like fossilized in some mud, and that was like what he found.
So, and he dates that back to 30,000 years ago.
Carbon dating's like that's a regular use science. So if you find like
Right.
Oh, totally.
that carbon is 30,000 years old.
Well,
for
and
sure.
that's the thing. Like, so if you're going back in Europe 30,000 years ago, wasn't that like a fucking ice age?
I believe that must have been near the bottom of the ice cap, right? Southern Europe.
Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, how that's totally not compliant with human life at that point in time, if it was.
Yeah, where's bot?
I'd be, what is it, like the upper Paleolithic, probably. That's about 50,000 to 10,000 BP.
Like, that area would have been completely uninhabitable then, right? Like, I would imagine.
No, I think that's right on. I don't know. That'd be a tough call. I don't know. I can't give you that answer. From the maps I looked at, it might have been under some ice. It might have not been. I don't know.
50,000 to 10,000 years ago.
But
that
here's
would be
the
like
thing.
upper
That's
Paleolithic, yeah.
That's
Like
going
Stone
under
Age.
the notion that, what science taught us of like that long spanning ice age. But we've talked about there was an ice age that didn't last that long. Right? We've theorized about that before.
Oh yeah, well that's the Younger Dryas, the return of a quick ice age, right? So this theory, like this goes back with like the Graham Hancock theory of an ancient advanced civilization wiped out by a global cataclysm. That's like either the fragmented comet, right, hits the ice caps, causes massive global, almost instantaneous climate change. which sent the world into like an ice age for another 1,000 years when it was already like warming back up. But a lot of these other structures that he claims to be like people claim to be ancient and advanced are like you can see the stonework very easily. So this one's hard. This one's sometimes hard for a lot of people because nothing's really uncovered except some slabs of stone. However, another one of his claims is that they took one of these stones and they sent it for analysis. I'm not sure. I can't remember what he called it in that documentary we watched. What was that documentary on? It was on Amazon that we watched.
Which Pyramid Seeking the Truth?
Yeah, if you want to know, if you want a good one, that goes through pretty much the whole history of it, pretty much.
Oh, sorry, The Pyramid Finding the Truth. Sorry.
The Pyramid Finding the Truth. Check it out. He sends like this rock in, which he claims turns out to be concrete at a much higher. He used like what's the concrete rating? Fuck, I can't remember. Anyways, much higher rating than our best modern concrete. Claiming that this concrete that he found under the structure, 30,000 years old, is super advanced concrete with like a much higher like water resistance and like much harder, like way denser. But I couldn't find anything else about that except the claim made. I don't know. Anybody else stumble across like another person talking about the concrete?
Well, and that's a lot of the problem with the Bosnian pyramids is you don't find a lot of people talking to them other than Osmanagic.
But he has like, he has, well, I guess we can talk about that later, but he has like members of parliament and like other politicians from Bosnia all like on board. Hundreds of thousands of people have traveled to see these places now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I don't know. He's on to something. What that something is we're talking about it, but
again, it's not. I don't think it's hard to get. I don't think it would be hard to get politicians on board. They're not scientists. They're not archaeologists. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we have this, and look at all the people that can come. It's like, yay for Bosnia. Right?
Yeah, you do have to take some cultural context into account when you're talking about this area, Bosnia Herzegovina. Like they just recently had a civil war, and that town of Visoko, just until recently, about 2000, before the Bosnian pyramids, like 2005 and stuff, their unemployment rate was at 50%.
Jesus.
And so for something like this, like where Bosnia Herzegovina is at a point where kind of cultural morale, society, politically is that it pretty much is everything's at an all-time low. A finding of a pyramid, like, or just a belief that there was something bigger there to lend them their kind of cultural identity back would be like a huge, huge boost. So I really think getting politicians on board when you look at it like that wouldn't be too difficult because they really don't have anything to lose because they like Braden said it would be easy for them to say, well, we looked or we gave them money and it doesn't really, for them, it doesn't hurt them. Either they find something or they don't find something.
Right.
Right. So
here's the thing. I would have to go, right? Because like I've been to like Chicken Pizza and I've seen it up close. And when you go there, it's
awe-inspiring.
It's this awe-inspiring. And right away you see it and you go, this place doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I get that. So so this guy must have, like, there's something there, right? Now, like, you couldn't just make this claim saying it's a pyramid, get people to come and be like, look at this hill, it looks like a pyramid. People go, cool. Like, that wouldn't attract global attention because there was a pretty big news story in like 2008 when it broke. So, like, what else besides the concrete, the claim of the age? What's drawing people to come here? Because like there's mass excavation on like a volunteer level, and they're finding did find some cave systems. He claims are some of the longest in the world. What do we know about that?
We know they were too small to enter
originally,
until they've dug them out so that people can walk in them. Now, it doesn't really. Yeah, on the surface, you're like, what were these? What was this fucking anthills you dug out? Like what do you mean?
Derek
They're
Zoolander. What are these tunnels
Wait,
made
no,
for ants?
he did say that they did conduct an energy screening that shows that the ionization levels of 43,000 negative ions is 200 times higher than the average concentration outside, which makes the underground chambers that they found into healing rooms.
Huh?
What do you mean healing rooms?
What?
Like crystals? Crystal healing?
That's what it says. It just says healing rooms, and people have come. I mean, that's why some of these people come here. He's made these claims about there's some sort of energy source beneath the pyramids, or at least beneath one of the pyramids, that has a power of at least 10 kilowatts.
Right. So I heard that too. And so he goes on to claim that it's just like with a lot of megalithic structures, claims that it's part of like the Earth's actual like ley line energy grid. Right? The Earth is an electrical being. Like that's what it is. Do I understand how it works? No clue. But some places on Earth, I guess, they say produce or are like the points where energy converges.
So what is this fucking guy a doctor in? Is he a doctor in Reiki? Like, is he a fucking naturopath or something? Like,
No.
He's a marketer for oil and gas.
No, doesn't he run? He runs like a steel cutting business.
He used to.
so what is he a doctor
marketing
of, though?
for
is
oil
what
and
I'm
gas
asking.
companies in the States. Way back when. Now he runs
Bosnian pyramids.
Park. It's called Park Ravni 2, which is the tourism complex.
He's a doctor of
They have-
tourism. Like,
Platforms for yoga, meditation, a concert stage with an amphitheater, botanical gardens.
yeah. So it sounds like it's some type of fucking like Reiki witch doctor bullshit.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it
But-
sounds like.
But it's marketing off of the healing power of these pyramids.
Okay, well,
Because he makes claims about some about frequency. I got a little too cooked here.
I got it. I was just about to say that. You're talking about the frequency measured at the top of the pyramid?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he says they bring in scientists, physicists, very smart people. I couldn't find who they were, but he brought them in from
The best people.
the best people. And they have like a museum there, and he has like pictures on the wall, and he does tours, and he explains the whole thing. I guess if you went there, you probably get a better understanding, but it's hard to find out online. But he claims 28 kilohertz at the top of the pyramid, and the wave is 4.5 meters wide at the top, and then as it goes up, it extends out to 20 meters, and this 28 hertz, he makes a mathematical connection that this is similar to Tesla scalar waves, which move faster than light, are unimpeded by any object, and they were proposed by Nikola Tesla way back in the day. And that's his like free energy waves. That's what he was claiming way back when. So this guy claims that this pyramid produces scalar waves directly up, and he has these convincing pictures. If I didn't know what they were, of like different like filters of a camera, like just not infrared, but like some other like frequency camera. And it shows like the frequencies coming across normal, hit the pyramid, and they all go directly up. And he claims that it's a torsion field or like scalar wave beam emanating direct. Okay, it's going to get weird. So take it 1 second, quick sip. So this energy beam, this is great. So the energy beam, according to Tesla, moves faster than the speed of light, and this is actually a beacon, a communication beacon for another point. And this is where I'm going to say, he doesn't say it, connecting with extraterrestrials through this pyramid, through Tesla scalar waves. It was in there. I listened to it all. It was straight sci-fi. It was cool, but I didn't understand anything he was saying. Anybody else?
He says a lot of stuff.
Well-
He says a lot of stuff.
He makes all the
Zmenovich-
best connections.
He loves aliens too, because he's even said like the Mayans are from the Pleiades
Pleiades.
Pleiades.
Yeah, I can get on board with that though. We've seen the landing pads.
Yeah. So this guy like loves aliens. So like, here's my thing. I love I haven't been there, and it's one of those things you'd have to go to see it. But if you type in Chichen Itza on TripAdvisor, you're gonna see tons of rave reviews. You're gonna see the bad reviews being like it's over tourism and people like it, whatever. But you're gonna see an overwhelming like people being like, "Wow, that's incredible."
Helps people.
Well, if you look at this trip, because I was like, maybe this is something you have to see to believe kind of thing. A lot of people say, like, this is a tourist trap with a lot of claims and then a little hike and you don't see nothing.
Well, it doesn't help that this guy's got fucking ads for his miracle spring water of the fucking Bosnian pyramids all over the TripAdvisor and all that other bullshit.
I only drink e-girl bathwater. God damn it.
What?
What? E-girl
What the fuck is
bathwater.
that?
What? You guys didn't see that thing? No. Oh, that was a whole thing for like a minute. Some chick was selling her bathwater like on
Oh,
fucking internet.
I feel
Selling
like
her
So listen.
bath water.
Hey, listen, I think we're gonna add that to our fucking meat
Patreon.
draw. You fucking win
Yeah.
meat draw, you get the
You get the
ATT
genius
bathwater.
marketing.
No, you get
Marketing.
you get number one's bathwater
yeah. Listen,
after he takes a
For our
shit
new
in the
Patreon
SkyTrain
tier-
station.
$88, $88 a month. I will send you a bottle of bathwater every month.
1/2 liter bottle.
No, a half liter. Come on.
Well, gallon?
This is it's worth its weight in gold. You will get a small tear vial of my bathwater that you can wear on a necklace.
Vial.
And it'll bring you the healing power of Braden's bathwater.
Oh my god.
If you spill any on you, you get pink eye.
Extra bonus.
That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable. That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable.
All right, before we get carried away, let's go through a couple more claims because there is some cool stuff that you're like, you know what? It's cool that he claims the pyramids, the 3 pyramids, the distance between them is approximately or really close to 2.2 kilometers, equally to each pinnacle of each pyramid, forming an equilateral triangle. It is cool. It's kind of the similar.
Yeah, I would just like to see somebody else confirm it besides him because I wonder how much like he's like the stuff he says. Like I can't not that it isn't true, but I feel like it might not be 100% accurate. I wonder how much give that he gives or how much variation he might doctor the numbers a little bit.
Is that if
It might round up or round down? I'm not sure.
Because that can you see that?
Yeah.
That's the line of
I
the
can see
pyramid.
it.
So you got the Moon Pyramid, Earth Temple, and Dragon Pyramid in a straight line. You have the Love Pyramid, Moon Pyramid, and the Dragon Pyramid in a Sun Pyramid, Moon Pyramid, and Dragon Pyramid in a perfect or almost perfect equilateral layout.
Okay, I'll say this. First off, he can make whatever fucking design he wants because outside the pyramid of the sun, the other ones just look like hills. Like you, like the one hill. I'm like, okay, yeah. The other ones, I'm like, those are just like when I look at those, I'm like, those are just hills. So for him to be like dotting lines on a map. I'm like, all right, like that doesn't. You're not selling me on that.
It's true. You search Bosnian pyramids and you only ever see the pyramid of the sun because that one looks like a pyramid. It's a pyramid. It's a pyramid shaped mountain. 100%. I'll give him that. That's 100% credit. Looks like a pyramid. Surprisingly straight edges for a mountain. But I feel personally, if you've discovered a pyramid and you can't unearth the structure, how is anyone going to believe you?
Right. Even when they talked about, even when they talk about the tunnels, like they're like, oh, there's tunnels underneath and they're linking them both together. But again, they started excavating this stuff in like 2005, 2006. Right. And they haven't said anything about like the tunnels actually going all the way between the two things. If you dug out tunnels, if there were like sculpted tunnels down there, you would find them.
Well, they were small tunnels for hobbits.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one part that got me. I watched one documentary from some group on YouTube that went there with Osmanagic, and they were doing a thing. They're like, yes, these tunnels, which originally were too small for people to get inside until they did the excavation. And I was like, wait, so you dug the tunnels out, like the regular shape that you, because if you took somebody in there, be like, oh, these are like square shaped, and it's like, oh yeah, the stones cut here and stuff. Like, no, they did that. They did that so you could go inside.
If you look at like, because people have been there because it's a big tourist attraction. When you look at pictures of people have posted of the tunnels, it is man-made tunnels now. Like it's just it's just 100% man-made tunnels. So if they said that there were smaller ones, they haven't preserved them at all. They've completely just made tunnels.
Yeah,
or they've linked a bunch of caves together because it's like there are mountains. Where there are mountains, you're probably going to find a couple caves.
Dude, water carves some serious channels through rock over time.
Yeah.
So if they did, say they did find a cave, exactly, they should not have altered it. They should have left it as is and let the people come take a look.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the criticisms that traditional archaeologists have of the whole excavation of these pyramids, because like they're a lot of them do say like if there's something there and you're having people who aren't trained archaeologists, whether it's even if it's just like graduate students or university students, people who are trained in the techniques of like preservation, excavation, and you're just having randos do it, like you're messing up everything. Chances of you being able to figure out or the chances of you actually destroying the evidence that you're looking for are a lot higher if you're using people who aren't properly trained.
I agree with that for sure.
Also, like another problem with Osmanagic is he'll say these claims of other archaeologists and other researchers who support the pyramids and have been there and have looked at this stuff and done research of their own, corroborating research, and then like scientific journals and stuff will reach out and press will reach out to these people he's naming, and they say, I have nothing to do with him and I've never been there. I don't know why he's saying that. I had no part in the Bosnian pyramids.
Yeah, there's at least one person. Okay, I know of at least one person who's been there. Robert Schock? I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. Robert Schock is the geologist that they always have on the program Ancient Aliens. If you watch it, if you look him up, like Schock,
he's a serious dude. He's cool.
Yeah, he's cool. Like he knows what he's talking about. He's an actual geologist. He's an associate professor.
Talks about weathering on stone and stuff, and the Sphinx complex and all that. Cool shit.
Yeah, he's the water erosion guy. The water erosion hypothesis for the Sphinx, saying it's older than it is. But even that guy in the documentary that I watched had real doubts about the existence, like the actual existence that these are, the claims that these are actually man-made pyramids. And if a dude from Ancient Aliens says basically you're full of shit. I think you got some serious, you got some work to do.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, if you're a guy from Ancient Aliens says, show me the pyramid, and you can't show him the pyramid.
Yeah. Because he went and he's been there. He went with Osmanagich. And Osmanagich invited him out there, and he came out there and he showed him those stone slabs. He showed him how they look cut and things like that. But Shock was like, no, that happens, and I've seen that hundreds of times. Like the way that geological stresses work is like those large slabs of conglomerate would be likely to break that way to make it look like they were broken even, or have those kinds of stress lines and things like that. He's like, that's not. I don't see that as evidence
of
or
man-made.
Of a man-made structure.
You think this could be solved so easy? Like, offer up those samples of those rocks to like a dozen different sources, get everyone to test them. If they can prove that it's real concrete, which can you even prove something? Like, how would you, I don't know. How do you prove ancient concrete if it's not the same as our concrete?
It's the taste, I think.
Grind it up.
Yeah, I need
Tip on the tongue. That's what I mean about this. Because when I first heard someone talking about the Bosnian pyramids, I was like, holy fuck, this all makes sense to me. Ancient civilization, advanced, global spanning. This is the first of many to be found. And I looked into it, like, where's the pyramid, man? Where's the stone? Where's the building? Where's like the cool, like laser precision cuts like in Pumapunka, where like they have the dovetail stones? They're like, this is beyond explanation. And it's like mind boggling. And then you look at this and you're like, I see a pyramid mountain. I see the stones that could maybe, they kind of look like paving stones. I'll give them that. They do. But I don't see like evidence of a highly advanced thing. The only thing I can think of, because they have found like a bunch of stuff there from different eras throughout time. So people have lived around there. So the only thing I could think of is maybe, because in a lot of cultures, they say like if they couldn't build pyramids, they would worship pyramidal mountains like as like a sacred mountain. Like it's always like mountains are pyramid shaped. That's what a lot of people think, right? So like people would just live like this. It is a cool looking mountain, and it doesn't look like any in the area. So if you're like an ancient civilization and you settled by it, you would probably worship this mountain.
Why though? What would you have it to compare it to? I would imagine people that lived in ancient Bosnia or whatever it would have been at that time wouldn't have ever seen a pyramid.
I'm just saying, throughout human history, people worship pyramid structure.
Actually, they have found evidence that those Paleolithic cultures that lived there, they knew of pyramid shapes. Like they knew what it was. They found, either it looks like the tops of jars or things like that, but also like small ceramic artifacts. At least in the documentary I showed, like they had been cataloging for months artifacts they had found at one archaeological dig site from at least the Bootmere culture that they believed it was from, and they had a small pyramid object.
Yeah, Kate,
and it looked like a tiny building or a tiny temple. It almost looked like a Aztec. It almost looked like a temple from Chichen Itza or something like that kind of pyramid.
Are we assuming they got this through trade or something like that? Like
global spanning advanced civilization dating back God knows how long. I'm telling you,
Aztecs came over there in their spaceships and they dropped it off.
Dude, there's some
okay.
Ancient history is more complex than we think.
Listen, tourism. We said this pre-show, but I'm going to say it again. Tourism is a huge moneymaker, right? And I'll put it like this: say if what's a dump town somewhere in mid United States?
Well, I'm not going to say dumb town.
Dump.
All the towns are great.
Springfield.
Some dump.
Springfield,
some dump, and they have the world's
There's a bunch of Springfield, Missouri.
Largest roadside ball of yarn in the world, right? And it's to everyone driving past, buying your little large yarn ball, this and that. And then all of a sudden, your little keychain. And then all of a sudden, your cross-state rivals erect a yarn ball with two. It's just a little bit bigger than yours. So now it's the largest yarn ball in the world.
Yeah,
yours
is now stupid. You would just have a big yarn ball.
No, okay, wait. I got a yarn ball, It
Yeah.
is a yarn ball. You can tell it's a
Yes.
yarn ball. And then you say, I got a yarn ball. Then you cover it in shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and
just
underneath.
disgusting.
Yeah.
And then
Underneath
it looks
this yarn ball.
It's a round something, but it's like kind of jagged. It doesn't really look like a ball, but it's like covered in shit. That's
Yeah.
what you're making that comparison, is what you're saying.
And
Wait, no, that's not what he's.
Yeah, no, because what I'm saying is what I'm saying is this. There's a lot of money in tourism, so maybe big Egypt and big tourism has got the they don't want this because they want the people going to the largest pyramid in Egypt.
Oh, I thought you were saying that this guy is comparing his pyramid to Egypt, and I'm like, no, because this completely doesn't look anything the same.
I like that as well because that's essentially what he's doing. But I'm saying like they don't want it to be the biggest pyramid, so they're trying to put the kibosh on it. They want the largest pyramid, right? It draws the most.
Wait, are you
tourism.
saying big Egypt, big pyramids,
Egypt
big pyramids is kiboshing this guy's discovery of the greatest pyramid because they don't want their pyramid to be a smaller Great Pyramid?
Well, and they don't have a piece of the like they don't have their big pyramid fingers in the Bosnian pyramid because it was self-discovered.
Slimy appendages wiggling in
Right,
there.
so
yeah.
it's because it's really privatized. So they're like, fuck this guy, fuck his research. We have the biggest pyramid. Don't listen to this guy. So they're doing everything in their power to put the kibosh on him.
Well, it's definitely working.
Okay, so I like the angle of Big Egypt taking over this place and kiboshing it. Okay, so then this is why they're doing it. So here are some examples of what's been found. I'll explain them if you're not watching the video. If you want to watch the video, you can find it on YouTube. Just search for Alien Theorists Theorizing. You'll find it. Okay, so let's go through. Boom. So in these small caves, they find these they call them porcelain slabs. They don't look anything special, to be honest. It's a giant rock, rounded, looks like weathered with a crack in it. It doesn't look
Looks like a loaf of bread.
it looks like a giant concrete loaf of bread.
It's like a slab of rock.
So this is what they say. I think this might be what they're testing for concrete. I'm not sure.
This is just like.
Anyways, then they
100%
find
slab of rock.
in the caves what look like markings, like runic markings. So this one has it looks like an A, then like an arrow and like an E.
Looks like an A and a T and a T. That's weird.
And I don't know I don't know how they come up with their alphabet here, but the squiggly line is an ADHL and the arrow is a KRA to the power of A. I don't understand that at all. But anyways.
Those all look like prototypes of our symbol. So
And then they find this. It's looks like a.
that is our symbol.
Hey, fucking
Like 4 times.
get out of there. Stealing our shit. Looks
Copyright
it
that
looks
shit.
like 5 ATT symbols stacked on top of each other, but it's in a stone.
Yeah.
They also find, this is what the pyramid thing we're talking about. It's like a
Yeah, that was the thing I was talking about.
They find this thing and it's a pyramidical, it's like a flat top pyramid, and it's got it looks like a repeating pattern wrapping the whole thing. It doesn't really look like a language. I guess here it says they have 4 lines and then an ATT symbol, 4 lines and ATT symbol wrapping this thing. And they date it to about 6,500 years old.
It looks like something was attached on the top there. Like that looks like it's maybe something like a fucking.
Something broke off.
Yeah, like
it's a
I don't
trophy
buy
holder
that that's supposed to be a fucking pyramid.
for an ancient bowling trophy.
Yeah.
What would be on the top?
Who knows? Anything could have been on the top.
bowler.
So wasn't flat, it was something on top?
Yeah, look at it. It looks broken. Look at that
It
top.
looks
That
broken.
doesn't.
Okay, I'll give you that, but it's still on a pyramidical base.
Yeah, because that's a perfect fucking base. Like that's what
They
it is.
weren't that smart. I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
But you're saying you're not that smart, but the point you're trying to make is that
they
they
are
are smart
smart.
enough to build pyramids.
Hey, they didn't discover the wheel, they said, for fucking thousands of years after they built the pyramids. They're not that smart.
Well, and look at these. They got a couple pet rocks here.
Now
That's
they got
pretty
some-
advanced.
now
You
the
didn't
next-
need wheels when you were hovering in your hover cars.
Yeah.
It's true. Sound leverage. I could get on board with some sound leverage.
Powered by my mind.
The next thing we find, there's these 2 spaceship rocks.
Pet rocks.
Pet rocks.
Those are pet rocks.
That's what they fucking look like. Little spaceship rocks.
What? Like Star Destroyers?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Some type of. You be the
Type of
judge. You be the
Jetson
judge
type
of what you.
spaceship.
Tell me what you think those look like.
Pet rocks.
It looks like a painted rock.
And then they find some rocks.
That's a piece of shit.
Then they find
That's
a piece of
3-coiled.
Right there, that looks
Petrified
exactly what Braden left behind at the fucking SkyTrain station. And now we got
Someone just took a
Bigfoot.
picture
Now we
of
got
it.
they find a Bigfoot cast in the dirt.
That guy definitely wouldn't have fit in the
5
fucking tunnels.
toes. I don't know. Is this? No, they didn't find a sphere there, did they? This is not
Get
right.
the fuck out of here.
Oh,
They didn't
this
find
is
that
from
sphere.
this is from the Yucatan. Get off the
Oh, the
screen.
ball.
What are
Get
you
off the
up to?
screen. Trying to sneak that perfect sphere on Bosnian pyramid. Get out of here. So that's the stuff.
Yeah.
So they found stuff. So there has been habitation around this pyramid.
Of course.
But
yeah.
from what of all the megalithic structures I'm interested in the world, I love them all. I'm going to Machu Picchu. It's the most excited I've ever been. This doesn't get me hard megalithically. No good.
This doesn't get me hard.
It does not
doesn't-
create a megalithic structure in your pants.
It does
Is that
not
what you're saying?
create a megalithic structure.
Jesus, enough of those. I'm the only one to make jokes. Okay, I don't want you creeping up in the polls here.
I'm trying to up my game.
Man, those are all sympathy votes. Don't even fucking start with me.
I took number 3 again.
But even
took what?
Like the dangerous thing is that he's gotten the local authorities and politicians so on board with this being this megalithic structure of the Bosnian culture that they built this and these huge things that they have school tours come through and they're taught that this is part of their culture, these pyramids.
Well,
Right? So it's
I don't mind that, like, they're excavating and finding stuff. I just don't like that they are calling it a legit giant pyramid without actually showing us the structure of, because there's drawings. People have done like cross section drawings and they're all over the internet and they show like what it looks like inside the mountain. But as far as I know, they have not done any type of scan or like really found like chambers or anything, just the small caves, which they excavate.
because he hasn't built them yet.
I don't know. I want nothing more than it to be a real pyramid because that would be fucking cool.
Yeah, so does Sam Outsmonagate.
And could it be like I said earlier, the only problem is Gilbeki Tepe wasn't run like a amusement park when it was first being dug out. So that's the difference between like a structure like that where people didn't really believe it and then it was like, oh no, this is the legit real thing.
Listen, Braden, for only 25 euros, you can get the magical healing power of the Bosnian fucking temple.
half
right?
an hour,
Yeah,
an hour in the chamber.
Come on.
Don't be telling
Euros?
people
They're not part
we're
of the
trying to
EU,
sell
are they?
bathwater here for $80 and you're going to tell them a steal of a deal like that and undercut our healing water.
Buddy, you're pocketing that shit. Don't even start with me.
Okay, I want to go through some claims made from the healing tunnels because this might be fun. Healing visits to prehistoric Ravna Tunnel Labyrinth. Number 1, increased lung capacity. You go in the cave and your lung capacity instantly increases is the claim.
What did they do? Like a VO2 max right after? What did they?
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know. No
confused.
idea. Your blood glucose level normalizes.
So you go in there with diabetes and you come out without
fine.
it.
You come
Okay.
out
You're
with no diabetes.
No diabetes.
Blood pressure normalization. So you go in. What's it? Hypertension? Is that what it's
You
called?
go in hypertension
You come out
and you leave normotensive.
normal tensive. See, if it said that, it's more believable, but it does not. Improvement of the general condition of the body, just generally.
Shit.
You feel better.
You go in, you feel good.
Yeah.
Like,
if you
what?
drink my bathwater, you would generally feel worse.
You definitely. Like I'm worried about this. This is going to be fucking coronavirus 2.0 if you keep selling this shit to people. It's not good. It's
You
not
don't know
healthy.
what is breeding.
It'll be called like BRDN 2020.
Yeah. Ugh. It's going to be called Craig.
Craig 2020.
And number 5, aura improvement.
Well, we can definitely measure those, so that makes sense.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
There is a 100% foolproof standardized method of measuring auras.
Yeah, well, you know what? Your chi goes up way through the roof.
You know what
Is it
I think?
Kaioken times 20 levels?
Yeah,
Like,
like
What
Super
does it do
Saiyan.
for your chakras? It probably aligns them, right?
Yeah.
Dude, when I
Sure.
think of this, I just think of like one of those shrines in Diablo. It increases your attack speed.
That makes sense.
Well, it probably does increase movement speed.
I'm a paladin, and I go in there, and my fanaticism goes from level 20 to level 25, and I'm really starting tearing up.
You
Also,
actually
I'm really stoked on God.
you actually come out and you perspire essential oils.
and
You bottle them up.
Yeah.
it's
Smell like
cra-
elderberries.
Like the seventh thing that it does for you is if you go in there and you stand at the peak and then you come out, you are actually able to breathe underwater, like salt water, for 12 hours.
Jesus.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Now I'm wondering if the three.
Unfortunately, you're further than that from water, so people aren't able to test it yet. But
Okay. Here's a question though. Now,
Yes.
if me, Dan, and Zell go in there, will we come out number one?
100%.
Like a combined number one?
At least combined.
you'll just come some like weird. It's like The Fly, right? If you all go in there together, you come out. It's going to be a mismatch. Terrible. But you'll be 100% number one.
We'll be Cronenberged when we come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll save us on screens for the live stream. But that's funny.
I don't know. When I was going all through all this and I was watching the documentary, there's a lot of things that were kind of running through my head. And, one of them is like, when I started watching the documentary, I'm like, sure, Osmanagic, he looks like it sounds like he's a fucking shyster. Cause he comes out there, he's like, these are pyramids. I've got some money. I'm going to pay some people to start digging for me. I'm going to tell some people that these are pyramids. And it has very literally turned him into almost a national hero. Like he's on the front of their newspapers. And oh my God, there's a clip from the documentary that is just amazing. He's having an interview. He's conducting an interview with a journalist from NBC or something like that. And the journalist has a newspaper in his hands, and it's got Osmanagic's face on it. And Osmanagic is talking on a cell phone while they're in the middle of an interview. And he's talking on it, and he sees the journalist has the paper, and he says, "Oh, do you see what it says on that paper?" And the journalist, like whip crack, is like, "Oh yeah, it says you talk on the phone too much." and then just after that, he's like, no. He's talking on the phone. He's like, no. It says national hero or something like that. Osmanagic. He's like, that's me. And then you hear another phone ring. I'm like, wait, is the phone ringing that's in his hand? And then no, he pulls another phone out of somewhere, of like an ankle holster or something. And then he's talking on two phones on either side of his head
At the same time?
at the same time in the middle of the interview.
Oh man, I love this guy.
Man.
I like this guy.
I can picture him pulling out one of those like really tiny cell phones from the SNL skit.
Oh man, It was just like, I was like, wow, really? But like you go through all the, like you will go through the kind of the documentary, but the more you get to look at it, it's almost like you don't really know if he actually believes what he's saying. Like you don't know. You're like,
No,
does he really
he
believe this? Like
doesn't.
100%? Is he
He's-
genuine about it?
He's running it like a roadside attraction.
You might have started.
Right.
You
Come
might have started
on
it.
down to the Bosnian pyramids where you can get pyramid keychain, pyramid head,
Come
heal
to
your
Mystery
body,
Hill, where
get wise,
gravity
wise like
works
an old man,
differently.
gain the powers of a wizard, and on Sunday, monster trucks will run up the hill.
Come to Prehistoric
Sunday.
Park. We've got dinosaurs and mini golf and like whatever.
He's got wacky, wavy, inflatable, arm flailing pyramids all over
best
the place.
cheesesteaks in the Tri-County area, whatever.
I mean, once that flames out, he can always start a pyramid cult.
Ah, yeah. He's
So-
he's on his way, dude. He has a country fully on board that this is
he
part of their
plays
culture.
on the national basketball team.
What?
For real?
What?
They invited him to play on the national basketball
old as
team.
fuck.
Their team
plays-
must suck.
No,
I
man.
don't-
Listen,
They invited him to play, but they only put him in when they're ahead.
he goes hard in the paint. I bet you he can dunk.
He can dunk.
I bet you
He's
can
doing
dunk.
360 one-handed
Listen,
jams.
He went into the
Power of
fucking
the
pyramid,
pyramids.
comes back out, he can dunk. That's why he's on a team.
Damn.
It's
That's
like
so-
that movie, like he gets the power of Michael Jordan for an evening.
Buddy, the pyramid bottles fucking Michael's secret stuff.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Okay, this is
If you place your sneakers at the bottom of the pyramid and let them charge, you can play with the skill of Michael Jordan for a single basketball game.
You guys want to see an artist rendering of the pyramid actually is beneath the dirt?
Yeah.
Because if they show me even a corner of this, I'm in 100% sold because it would be cool. See that? It was
Yeah,
a
that's
step pyramid. It's got like 8 steps, then a flat spot, and then another like dozen steps to the top with it looks like a Mayan
Those
step
would be
pyramid.
huge
looks nuts.
steps.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Any bit of that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. If they unearth, let's just speculate. They do stumble apart. They do like some like ground testing, and they're like, oh, there is some type of weird foundation, and they dig down, and they do find some type of structure. I'm sold. I'm in.
Oh, I'm not counting this out. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it doesn't look good right now.
It looks poor at the moment because it's you know what? It's boosted up a country that was just ravaged. What, like not even like 20, 22 years ago? Like not that long ago? Like devastating like war there. Like the buildings still bear scars of gun shell and like mortar fire. This is one of the most this is the most recent European war, is it not?
Yeah. Maybe like the Serbia one.
Same wasn't it like
Yeah, it's not great. Like it's
not
not a great place to live.
Better now.
It's a beautiful country. Like, I mean, you look at the pictures, it's like a beautiful country, but like not a great place to live. Like economically, politically, I don't think it's super awesome or anything like that.
Still now to this day.
Yeah. And like they're still feeling the effects of that war. Like they're still recovering almost. And part of me wants to be like, oh, Osmanagic is, 100%, snake oil salesman. Yeah, sure. But also this stuff is bringing in much needed, commerce, tourism. It's revitalizing that, at least that town of Isoko, and bringing in hundreds or thousands of tourists, and that's becoming, integral to that.
It's true. I would go if I was in the region. I'd be like, I'd go check it out. Pay $20.
Yeah, and if anything, you get a nice little day hike. Like, the views look nice. I mean, but once you get up there, like these aren't fucking pyramids.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Like, you get up there, and if they showed me those stones, or they showed me a bit like poking out from anywhere, because if you had a pyramid like that, even if it was covered by it had to be covered by hundreds of feet of dirt. Like, that's impossible, because some of it would come off weathering wise or something like that. Like, just something would show, or something would have been written, or somebody would have been like, yeah, that looks like a big piece of chunk of rock.
And there's
like
big trees on that hill.
It's not like covered in vines. It's a full on forest.
Like, so that would be like, if that's a man-made structure under there, it's like, well, okay, that's some big roots.
Well, and like how long has it been covered with fucking grass and trees and all that shit? Because at some point,
We don't know.
You would think that some ancient civilization, you know what I mean, would have been able to see it for what it used to be and have some type of depiction of it. You know what I mean? Like, if you had this giant fucking pyramid, you'd be worshiping it. You'd be, you know what I mean? It would be in your art. You'd be fucking, it would be the centerpiece of that entire area, would it not?
Unless it's been,
or they would have
old.
quarried it for rock or something,
Yeah,
like would have taken it out. Like, there would have been evidence of excavation or construction.
Maybe it's just so old that there's like that much organic like soil, like material on top that we don't know.
So
Maybe
I
it's
guess
just
if it is 30,000 years old, it is older than every other pyramid on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Oh, by far.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Except possibly, which I think is another cool pyramid we could discuss in the future, Gunung. Was it Gunung something? The Gunung pyramid in Indonesia. You ever heard of that one?
Yeah.
And that one they've actually
Sounds
found at least structures on top. So there was someone did build on top of the pyramid, and they're not sure yet if that
Gunung.
Gunung Padang.
Gunung Padang, that's in Indonesia, and they're not sure if that like top structure actually is part of a bigger like substructure that they haven't found yet.
Yeah.
It's another new, but this one at least has a real ancient structure on top.
Well, and like this one too is covered in fucking grass and shit, but you can definitely tell that that's a fucking pyramid.
It looks more like a pyramid.
Way
It does.
more.
It looks way more. And there's actual structures on top, which people are claiming that it's like the cap of the pyramid and there's more ruins underneath. They don't know yet. But that one's dated to like something similar, like way, like rewriting history if it turned out to be man-made. But
This whole Bosnian pyramid one, this is a great example of like a great surface level conspiracy, because you read some headlines and you watch some of those 4 or 5 minute YouTube videos on it and you're like, this is a game changer. Civilization, as we know, it's completely history's rewritten. And then you like get into it just past that surface level and you're like, like what's going on with this? Like,
show me the rock.
You're like, show me something, anything, please. And you get nothing.
It's cool. It's just, I don't like that it's without a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? More
Evidence?
Evidence, yes. But like more
something more substantial. Like you need
more
something a little bit.
widespread acceptance of people in the fields of like, especially like, I'm not talking about archaeologists, because I feel like archaeologists go into stuff sometimes and like, okay, this has to be dynastic Egypt because this is this is what we know. Like, but like geologists and stuff, they're like, no, this looks man-made. This is old. I'm interested. Let's all get on board. Let's all study it together. There's not a lot of that going on, which kind of kills it.
Yeah, it's hard because, I guess you could say good science is built on consensus, and there's not much consensus going on here. Osmanagic can make all the claims he wants. He can pull in all these people, but unless it's all independently reviewed and you have at least more than however many people he have on board, like professionals, experts in their field, people coming in and being like, oh yeah, totally, that could be something. And and most of the time when he talks to experts, I know he's invited, like they did have an international Bosnian pyramid conference there, and that was in the documentary, of which he provided entertainment in the form of a local Bosnian rap star.
Oh
my God, that was great.
As a rap star.
It's awesome.
So he had to put, so it was a bunch of Egyptologists, like all Egyptologists from Egypt. And, none of them spoke Bosnian, but the guy was rapping in Bosnian or the regional language. And, it was just about pyramids. He was rapping. It was a pyramid rap. It's great.
Oh,
but
I also forgot to mention, I looked up Cosmic North. It's not a thing. Surprise, surprise.
Wow.
Cosmic North. Yeah. There's magnetic north and the north, like the axis of the earth.
Yeah. The Cosmic North is just make believe.
I'll link the fucking
Cosmic North.
I'll
I guess Cosmic North would be the north, like the north axis, because that's always pointing into the cosmos, I guess you would say. But I don't think it's ever referred to.
But that's not a term that's used.
It is now. Cosmic
That's right.
North.
It's the real deal.
If it's pointing Cosmic North, you got yourself a pyramid.
Yeah. I just think he's, I don't know. I feel like in archaeology, you're supposed to be your own worst enemy. Like, like you're supposed to be trying to prove yourself wrong.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody else is going to do. It's almost like when you go into these things, I know like in like doctoral programs and stuff, like you have to defend it. You have to be ready to be like, no, I already looked into that, and this is why it's not that.
Yeah.
And you have to be ready to be like, okay, this isn't what I thought it was at first.
Got to answer everyone's questions before they're asked.
Right. And you need to be like, you can't look at a mountain and be like, that's and believe that's a pyramid. And like, I'm going to find out the 100 reasons why this can be nothing but a pyramid. I'm going to try to look at all the angles. I'm going to try to pull up all this stuff. I'm going to do the work, and I'm going to be like, why this isn't a pyramid. I'm not not the stuff that about, I'm going to look for energy stuff coming out of this pyramid because that's how all these other pyramids seem to work and all that stuff. And
there's no proof of it, but a lot of the archaeologists and scientists and geologists who go and visit these sites claim that the steps and the carvings are man-made by his team.
Well, not all of them, I don't think, made by the team, but they're just not made 20, 30,000 years. They're like from civilization, like Greco-Roman times, or like they're not
Right.
from what he's
A
claiming.
lot of them accuse them of just like the steps of this of like
All the steps when they carve a step.
the steps, making it out, making the steps, and some of the carvings, the ancient carvings that said they've accused it, like we kind of believe that his staff may have done some of this.
Yeah, like some of the like, I think like the writing stuff, like when he like the chiseled lines, they don't. I'm like, all right, you got a little bit of this. What language is it? They don't know. They claim claim
30,000
Atlantean.
years
They actually
old.
claim Atlantean, I think,
Cool.
I can claim anything. Nobody actually knows what Atlantean looks like.
which would be cool. Yeah, imagine this was such an old pyramid. It's the old pyramid of Atlantis before whatever happened.
That would be badass.
That would be badass.
Andrew, what's your final thoughts? Does your T-shirt say it all?
Case closed.
Bullshit. Though I'm open. I'm not going to close my mind completely. I just got to, someone dig something up that looks like a pyramid.
Yeah, you need some outside people looking into it outside of
Because
Osmanovich.
I just thought about this. I don't know, Brandon, if you've ever noticed, but if you're in Kelowna and you go to you're going out to the airport and you look in the distance, if you're looking north in the valley, there's a mountain that looks like a pyramid. No joke.
Yeah.
There is.
Obviously, a pyramid. Ancient civilization.
I'm gonna go dig something up. I'll probably find some like Aboriginal sites because this area has had tons of history like that. I'm sure I'll find something, and if I find something, I can just start going. I can
Do
start
not
going places.
do fucking
Dr.
not
Zelovich.
disturb any ancient Indian burial grounds, please.
Well, that's how you get famous.
no.
Do
We've
you want
already
poltergeist?
we've
This is how you
already
get
fucking
poltergeist.
had haunted studios and haunted this and that. We don't need to be poltergeisted.
There's nothing I won't do for a good haunting.
No, yeah. You wait until you get paranormally activated. Then it's all
you
over.
say that now.
Dude,
Exactly.
if I get paranormally activated, the podcast will get way bigger.
Yeah, well, you're okay because you're a fucking vampire. You're already fucked. So it's fine. They're your friends.
I'm immortal. How
Yes.
am I fucked?
Fucking Zool.
Zool? Is that my vampire name?
Yeah, Zool. That's all coming together.
Makes sense. It makes much sense as that's a pyramid
I've
mountain.
seen a demon dog in your fridge.
Choose your destroyer.
Why don't we wrap this one up? Let's get into some space news.
What we got?
Well, you know what? There's some space news that is not always the happiest, and I fucking hate to say it, but I told you so. I called it on I wish we had the clip so we could bring it up probably over a year ago when Mad Mike Hughes, the flat earther who was trying to debunk the round earth, was self-propelling himself into the sky. I had made the joke right after saying the story. And next, Mike Hughes dies in rocket crash.
Are you dropping a toe to so?
unfortunately-
You're dropping a toe to
toe-to-so.
so.
Totally.
I
so.
told-
Fucking toe to so.
It's not fun when someone
Mad Mike-
dies, but
No,
It's not fun.
He
It sucks,
died. Like, there's the video of it.
Oh, you see it. He's dead.
bad.
Yeah.
The video is.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that video was out. They should not have. put
Yeah,
that
it's
out.
not that
He
bad.
Smashes.
It's not that bad.
Is a bunker buster.
Well,
Like,
You
not
know what
that-
though? On the positive, like the guy, like all jokes aside, loved rockets. Was going out of his way to fly them. He wanted to touch space himself.
out
Kudos
doing
to
what
the
he
guy,
dude,
and I'm
as
sure,
a,
like
as
I'm
a
sure he-
daredevil.
yeah,
He's
I'm
just
sure he went
daredevil,
down
you know?
the way he like if he had to choose his fate. I'm sure that was
Dude,
one
he
of
went
them
out in the
that he had-
flames of glory. Like that.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't buy into what he was fucking selling, but he went out like for a cause that he believed in, man. Like that's fucking rock
riding
and roll.
a fucking dude riding on the back of a fucking rocket
Yeah.
that he
Yeah.
made himself,
Yeah, I
trying
agree.
to get to
that was
space.
rock and fucking roll,
Dude, I
man.
agree, but at the same time, you know when he got to the top and realized his parachute had already ripped off, that the fear and like what he had to think that 8 seconds on the way down.
I don't
Oh,
even
it's
think he would have
euphoric,
known
man.
that the parachute. I don't know. I don't think he would have known the parachute until he was coming down.
That's what I mean. Like on the way down when
Yeah.
he goes to pull it and he's just like, oh fuck. Boom.
That's
He
when
might
you
have been
knew
on
he
the
fucked
radio with his ground team, and they might have been like people were saying that you could see it in the video when it rips off.
You can.
like on after
Oh, you
launch,
did.
and I'm sure they were gonna be like,
Well, you
I'm
can
sure there was like a 10 seconds of just silence to be like,
No,
oh shit, do we tell him?
you can hear him saying call an ambulance while he's still in the air. They're like call an ambulance, and you kind of got to be like, why? Like it's not. gonna
Anyways,
do
he
anything.
launched. His parachute ripped off at the start. He went. I don't know how far he got. He got thousands
Dude,
of
well,
feet
in
up.
that video, he's
He was cooking up there,
he is cooking.
and he came down in free fall at full terminal velocity, and it was not.
I'm not
good.
sure I think they said that he didn't get, he got far, but not like far. Like I think
He didn't get to
like,
space
A
or
commercial airliner would be higher.
Oh, dude, I don't think he got more than like 4,000 feet. Like he got high. He got high enough that there's no coming back.
You know, at the end of the day, the only thing he feared is the sphere itself.
Oh. You know what?
Next up on Space News,
Cheers to
a
Mad
strange
Mike.
binary star is acting out of character, and it's not the only one.
What?
Gasp.
Basically, you know, you have the article there?
I got it up.
Oh, look at that.
ScienceAlert.com. Look it
Yeah.
up.
It's I love that site since I found it.
It's fun.
All my page notes are frozen, so I can't scroll down. So I just have just the heading of that one. That's
Okay.
it.
It looked like a binary system consisting of a neutron star back in 2003, but then from 2009 to 14, it dimmed way down to resemble a millisecond
There you go.
pulsar. And then in 2016, it went back to the same low mass X-ray binary signature, and they don't know why. That's pretty much it.
Man, it just goes to show how much like we don't fucking know shit
We don't know anything.
about the universe.
We don't know nothing.
God
We
damn it,
don't
we
know
don't know
anything about
anything.
anything.
No. The more I read, the
On
more
the
I
scale
realize
of things to know, from like universal like genius to like idiot, we're closer to idiot.
I don't even know why I'm here right now. I got no fucking clue.
neither do we.
I don't even know. What are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking? The Croatian sandhill? What the fuck's happening again? What? And you guys are surprised why I'm number 4. I don't fucking know. I've been in like 8 of these fucking things. I don't know what's going on.
I'd like to say I'm learning something every time, but I don't understand.
Don't know
Start to
nothing.
finish. I've learned a couple new words. Don't know what they mean.
Barely know how to say them.
SpaceX just announced they'll send space tourists deeper into orbit than ever before.
Oh yeah.
How
SpaceX
much?
announcing a new partnership that's going to send 4 tourists up there into orbit. I didn't know the Cirque du Soleil guy went in back in 2009.
What Cirque du Soleil guy?
The first guy was
The
Dennis.
founder.
First guy was Dennis
Oh, the
Tito
founder.
in 2001, and then Cirque du Soleil guy Laliberte
Guy Labert
in 2009.
Maybe.
The only 2 people in space so far, or civilians in space, I should say.
So, we're getting there, man. It's soon in our lifetime. Maybe
So it costs $100 million. It's only $100 million.
No, the whole project's $100 million.
Oh, only the project's $100 million.
I don't know how much they'll end up paying.
How much?
to go, but
much are we gonna
who
pay to
cares?
go?
You know what that means? It's the price is slowly going to go down till one day maybe one of us can afford to go to space.
You know what?
Not me.
I don't trust these Tesla. I don't trust anything Tesla says anymore. I always, whatever they say, if they say 2022, I'm going 2028 because.
this is SpaceX though.
Sorry,
Oh, yeah, never
SpaceX,
mind. That
Tesla,
is-
SpaceX.
It's all the same
Same
shit,
thing.
isn't it?
It's Elon. His expectations are so much faster than what they end up being.
Hey, man, I watched one of those fucking Teslas break down on Top Gear. Ever since then, I'm like, no dice. Not going to happen.
They still haven't released the Tesla Roadster, and people paid $25,000 deposit 4 years ago. It's supposed to be 2018 at the latest. It's 2020. Still hasn't come.
Whew.
Just saying. They're late. They overshoot their deadlines by, yeah, we can get it done next year. And then 5 years later, like, yeah, we got it.
And then when they release something, the fucking window breaks.
Oh, yeah. If it says bulletproof and you can break with a sledgehammer, I'm not sold.
Dude, man, if there's not a chance that wasn't set up.
That created a good buzz.
Honest to God, that didn't. Because listen, one of the things I've read and made a really good point is they said that they've tested it, right? They tested the glass.
Yeah.
You were just doing it in the back.
Yeah.
You know what would happen if you threw that thing from as close as that guy was standing, and how hard he threw it, and that glass didn't break? It would have shot right back at him. Like it would have just bounced back so fast. He was in the danger zone of getting hit by this thing.
Yeah, but
I think 100% they did that because that's an easy thing. That's an easy fix to say. Get some marketing buzz, right? Like that.
Well, then
he
they
doesn't
could
need.
show-
He's fucking
Then they-
Tesla doesn't need any more buzz though. Like
No, but he could show what they did before because he's like, because they had videos of when they were in the back and they were taking like that giant like ball bearing and just
Smashing
chucking it at the window. They're
Yeah.
like, we did that all in the back and it was fine. And then we hit it with and then it took us, a giant, we had to slam it with the sledgehammer or whatever. Oh no, they threw another thing at it. They were hitting it with a sledgehammer in the back. It's like, yeah, we were hitting it with a sledgehammer in the back and it was fine. And then we checked it at that. Well, maybe we should have done that. That was just a little bit too much.
I think it's set up. But another space news: the hottest stock of 2020, Virgin Galactic.
Braden's
ATT.
bathwater.
Braden's bathwater.
Braden's bathwater. Next is Virgin Galactic.
That's the hottest stock.
Oh, dude, it's been rising like crazy.
Why didn't I buy? What? Why didn't someone warn me? I could have bought one share.
We should start investing in any of the science companies we talk about, because if we would have invested in all the ones like we talked about early on, we probably would have had some good
Good ROI.
some good returns by now, because we've been talking about Tesla forever. We've been talking about SpaceX. We've been talking about Virgin Galactic for like 5 years.
Didn't you try and buy into Tom DeLonge's fucking like Angels and Airwaves bullshit?
I wanted to buy one share as a joke, but I couldn't buy it from Canada.
Yeah.
No, but in seriousness, when I bought weed stocks when weed went legal in Canada, but I could have bought Tesla. If I would have bought Tesla, I would have tripled my money. Weed stocks went down 50%.
And the weed stocks have not done as good as...
They're minus 50 overall. Easy.
Oh.
And we're just waiting for... I was banking on the states going legal soon after, and then our company's getting bought by the big state companies, and then my shares going through the roof. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
So you...
Yeah.
Come on.
Still hope.
Dan, get on the horn. Call your congressman, congresswoman. Tell them.
One candidate is saying that he's going to legalize weed first day. So...
They all should say that. They all... That's
They all, maybe they all should say that, but only one's saying that he will actually do it. He's promised to do
who
it.
said that.
Is that Bernie?
Yeah. He said day one, executive order, federally legalize marijuana.
Didn't Bernie have a heart
Feel the
attack?
burn, baby.
You had a bit of a
It's
jammer.
kind of like, it was like a little bit.
You had a bit of a jammer. Bernie's all
Anxiety.
good.
Some
He's good.
angina or something?
Throw a pig valve in there, he'll be fine.
He's fine.
He's good.
All right. I always just see Larry David. I can't just not picture Larry,
Yeah, I know.
picture Larry David now.
I think they're actually distantly related, though. Or that's a joke I've seen, but
I wouldn't
think
be
they
surprised
actually might
because
be
they're very
distantly
similar.
They're the same person.
They're the same person.
related. Yeah, they could be the same person.
And it doesn't change. I would still vote
let's
for either
throw
of
the
them.
randomatron on. We got it working this week?
Oh,
Better
it's
lubed up.
Tuned up. Here we go.
It's going to fall on no one knows. Working? There we go. Whew. Crisp. Mongoose file!
It is?
Oh, it isn't?
Is that a mongoose file? I guess it is.
Okay.
It's a randomatron. You never know what you're going to get. All right. Get out.
I know we don't talk about this beforehand, but didn't we talk about this beforehand?
I don't remember, did we?
I thought didn't we talk to each other on the phone about
Oh,
this
I didn't
exact
think that
same
was
thing?
related though. I was not prepared whatsoever. That's hilarious.
That's
I didn't
so
know we
funny.
were talking about this show.
No, I just was picking his brain. I was like, well, what do you think, like, as far as
I thought-
direction wise?
About
I
some
thought
other
100% I
podcast.
I thought you had said what you're like. Oh, I thought you had one.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I'm sure I can pull something out of my ass. Might not be as fucking.
We're live, so you got to do something.
All right.
do it.
Okay. So obviously this happened to a friend of mine.
Of course.
So it didn't happen to me.
Yeah. It's
Didn't
not
happen
even
to my
that
friend.
friend's friend. It's the friend's friend on this one.
Friend
It's
of a
crazy.
friend.
Exactly. So
Distant friend.
this one's got a little bit of an R rating on it. Like it's a little bit fucked up.
This show is rated 18 plus. Don't
Okay,
worry.
good. Because it's if you're sensitive, I wouldn't listen. It's pretty fucked up. And like not gross, but just like morally fucked up and just not good.
Fair.
So
Ooh.
call comes in as a dropped 911 call. Hop in the ambulance.
If someone drops a 911,
They'll send an ambulance.
no matter what.
No matter what, they send an ambulance. And if it sounds somewhat suspicious, they'll send the police too. But this one, just send an ambulance, routine check, head into the suburbs of some
Burbs.
fucking town in BC, maybe a big city, whatever.
Maybe a small city. Maybe not
small
even
city.
in
Maybe-
BC.
Yeah, there
Could
you
be
go.
anywhere.
So we show up, absolutely zero information. It's a gated community. So we just start fucking buzzing the number to get in. No answer, no answer, no answer. So usually they'll have like a 911 code that you can use to get in. We use that. Works. Awesome. Get in. And like, this is a really, really nice neighborhood. Big houses. Pretty hoity-toity. You know what I mean? Pull up to this house. All the lights are off. We get out. Knock on the door. No answer. Try the door. Locked. Go back to dispatch. Hey, get no answer. We might have to get fire to come crack the door, which we do a lot of the times because we don't want to foot the bill for breaking the door down. And just as we're doing that, you kind of hear the door open, and it's got one of those little chain things, so it's open really quiet. And they're like, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" We're like, we got a drop 911 call, and there's this like teenage girl at the door, right? And you can see like when she's saying like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here?" You can see like she's in distress. You know what I mean? Her eyes look like she looks like she's been crying. The eyes look like they've been watering. So right away, your kind of suspicions are going up. Not to mention it's like 9:30 p.m. All the lights are off. Like just a weird vibe from the house. So I'm like, hey, like, you know what I mean? You sure everything's okay? Like, do you mind if we come in, do a quick set of vitals on you and stuff like that? And as I'm talking to her, a man approaches behind and he's like, what the fuck's going on? And she's like, nothing. They're leaving. And he's like, they better fucking leave. So we're like,
Oh, shit.
okay. So just as she goes to like close the door on us, being like, bye, like I stuck my foot in the door, or my friend stuck his foot in the door and jammed the door and was like, whoa, just one sec. Like, you know what I mean? Like we got to do our due diligence here. And normally if somebody tells us to fuck off, we can usually take a hike, but right away, there's just this really weird vibe. Right. So I looked at my partner. I was like, call dispatch. It wouldn't hurt to get the code 5s, which are cops, get them here routine, right? Just get them started right now because something's not right. So I'm like, listen, you know what I mean? And as I'm trying to talk to this girl now, there's this fucking giant dude hovering above her, right? And you can tell she's kind of shit.
How big we talking?
Well, to me, everybody's fucking big. This guy's like at least
Guy was
fucking.
5'8".
I'm 5'8", asshole. Fuck you.
And
Actually, I'm
your
closer to
friend's
5'9".
what, 5'7"?
My friend's 5'9", okay?
Okay.
On a good day.
5'9".
He's fucking 5'9". Don't worry about
5'9"
it.
with shoes on.
Okay?
In those 5'11"
Giant work
boots.
boots.
Oh,
he's
it's 5'11" books.
5'9".
I'm fucking pushing fucking, I'm pushing 5'10".
Friends pushing
Or
5.
he's
Yeah,
five
oh, yeah.
pushing 5'10". Hey, irregardless.
Regardless, yes.
Okay? Where was I? Okay, so anyways.
Giant dude hovering above.
So I turn around, or fuck, my partner turns
We
around.
get it. It's not you.
God damn it. My friend turns around and says, hey, listen, we need the cops here. And you know what I mean? But instead of saying that, you say, we have code words, right? We say, we need do you mind grabbing a 5? And that's usually what we say to get the cops rolling, right? Just kind of like under the radar.
Subtle.
So my partner just goes to the ambulance. She's like, whoa, where's he going? I was like, we're just going to grab some equipment. We're not allowed to leave unless we are able to kind of come in and, do a quick check, do a set of vitals type thing. And the guy's like, well, you got to make it quick. Like, we're fucking busy. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. Like, do you mind if we come in or do you want to come outside? And he's like, well, she's like, well, can I go outside? The guy's like, nope, you guys come in. So, crack the door. We walk in. I walk into this, walks right into the kitchen and flick the lights on. And like, you know what I mean? I'm kind of scanning the place to kind of see if I can see any fucking signs of struggle, any danger, anything like that. And the one thing that jumped out at me right away is like, you're looking at all these pictures and you can see this girl and you can see a man and a wife and another kid. And none of those people is the man that's in this fucking room. And they've got family pictures all over the fucking place, right? So I'm like, that's fucking weird. So this guy's hovering, and I'm kind of like, listen, sir, like, do you mind if I do a quick assessment on her in private? Like, I don't know what your relationship is with her, but we'd like to keep everything confidential. You know what I mean? And he's like, well, it's up to her. Does she want me to leave? And she's like, no, he can stay. It's fine. So I can't find a fucking way to separate these two, but something's going on.
Something's fishy.
Something's fucking weird, right? So I do a quick set of vitals on her. She's fucking tacky, which means her heart rate's up, her blood pressure's up. And this is like a fucking 16, 17-year-old girl, right? So none of these, you can tell she's just signs of distress.
Agitated,
stressed out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to dig. I'm like, so what's going on? And I'm trying to look for like buzzwords here, like for her to admit that she's in any type of danger.
Cousin.
You know what I mean? And I can't, like, we're not gelling here. So finally, like, we do everything now on our computers. And as far as like, if we call it like codexing, which is like, not transporting the person, we're clearing them, everything's okay, we're leaving type thing, or they're just flat out refusing. And we have to get them to sign our tablet, our little computer that we bring with us. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, listen, I'm just typing in some stuff here. You know what I mean? And she's not giving her name. She's not giving anything. I'm like, that's fine. I just need to get your signature initials if you don't feel comfortable signing your name. And it's just to cover us liability wise. And you can see the guys kind of just looking around the house, all sketchy. So before I toss to the computer, there's a little box where they sign. And I'm like, fucking, I wrote in there, I'm like, just nod your head if you're in trouble. And I wrote that in the box.
Oh.
And I handed it to her, and she reads it, signs her name, she looks at me, she nods her head. And then I get the computer back, and she writes, he's got a gun.
Oh, God damn.
So I'm like, holy fucking shit, right? And I'm trying to buy my time being like, I don't want to leave this girl. You know what I mean? But how do I buy my time in this fucking place, right?
What's the standard response time of the 5?
Well, exactly. So I was like, I exhausted all options, and I'm like, this guy, there's nothing, I can't buy any more time here. So I grabbed my mic and I was like, you hit it. There's an orange button on the top, the orange button on my friend of mine's mic, and you hit the orange button and it instant code 3. So what happens is every mic in the fucking city goes dead. Everybody's goes blank, but yours, and it alerts a code 33. And you have
power button.
You have fucking like 30 or 20 seconds to fucking say where you are and a quick little blurb of what's going on, and everybody just gets dispatched. So I hit the mic and I'm just like, armed suspect, code 33. And the guy's like, what the fuck did you just say? I'm like, hey man, just don't worry about it. I'm talking to my partner. Like, it's all good. And he's like, you said armed. I'm like, no. I'm just telling my partner to bring something in. Like, it's fine. Buddy fucking flips the table and starts freaking out. Thank God we called the fucking cops earlier to get them rolling, because there was a cop right around the corner. Within like fucking maybe 2 minutes, door gets kicked down. Cop comes in with his gun. We're all shitting our pants. I grab the girl. I'm like, you're getting the fuck out of here. I take her outside. The cop gets the guy down on the ground, takes the gun away. Fucking within 2 minutes, entire fucking VP, the entire whatever police force are there surrounding the house. And like, this is where it gets kind of shitty, but like, you know what I mean? It's nice because a friend of mine had a little bit of intuition on the situation, read the situation, and saved this girl's life. But unfortunately, what we found out later, that the mom had recently divorced the dad and had been seeing this guy that got recently released from jail. And she was upstairs, and so was her 6-month-old brother, and neither of them made it through the evening.
Oh, so before all this happened?
They were dead upstairs.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, man. I'll give more details in after hours because it's a lot worse, and I don't really want to get into it. Just, I'll talk to people.
I was not expecting that.
It's, whoa. Like, I mean.
So if you want to hear more stories from the theorists, get on our Patreon at patreon.com/Alien Theorist Podcast for more podcasting.
More great team
Enjoy
stories.
the show.
Enjoy the show. That's fucking
anything
crazy.
else before we close out the show?
Yeah. We got a couple things, my brother. We got a couple.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Slow your roll there, buddy.
First thing, you know what? Maybe we're going a little bit long, so we won't do one of them. But what we got to do is the Patreons, motherfucker.
Oh, my favorite segment where Zell makes up names.
Dude,
Did you make them up beforehand and write them down? You're going to just come up with them off the top
I've
of your head
changed
again.
everyone's name who's sent it to me. I made up the most ridiculous. There was a few people who did fuck with me. I know they did. And then there was a few people who were on my side who said, "No, man, you got my name right," and that made me really happy. So,
Oh, yeah. Did you just see this? Did they compliment you?
I think actually was one of them.
All right, let's hear them. Who's...
All right, we didn't record for a couple weeks publicly. We did some Patreon only stuff, so we got a few. We got Jens John, Marco Camaro.
That's a fucking
These
cool
are normal
name.
names. What the fuck are you laughing?
That's a cool fucking name.
Marco Camaro.
Yeah, that guy sounds badass.
Jens... Hold on. Your first one is Jens John.
Can you read it?
No.
No, I can't.
No.
God damn it.
Jens John and then whatever, Jaeger Camaro. What's the other guy's
Jaeger?
name?
Just found the new name for the next action star.
Marco Camaro.
Marco Camaro. Oh, wow.
That's the third time I've said it,
That's
and you
a
keep
good-
going, wow.
Listen. That guy sounds
that's a
like
good
an
name.
intercontinental champion.
He does.
Yeah.
That's a badass name.
Now coming to the ring, the Intercontinental Champion of the world, Marco Camaro.
Yeah, badass.
Matt Orwin. CJ Busca. Casey Nelson. Jesse Phillips. See, easy names today. No one's making them up. So far. We'll see what happens. Michael Dunn. Brendan. Oliveras. Jonathan Burris. Drew. Max Kiernan. When did we record last? February 10th? Oh, okay, so let's keep going. Jenny Kringler. Sharon Knight Melville. And that's it. That's the 10th. February 10th, I believe that was our last recording. That was Black Dahlia. So
Marco Camaro wins best name in that
Marco
group.
Camaro
100%.
wins.
Guy's an ass kicker, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Related to Lance
Yeah,
Kincaid, maybe.
100%. Yeah, maybe.
That's a
Relative
reach.
cousin.
That's a
That
reach.
might be a reach.
That's a
Sorry.
reach,
Sorry.
yeah.
Put you on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Too early. We had
All
a
right, what else
theorite
we
of the
got?
week. Dan?
Our theorite of the week is Will Kikehoven. Say that
I need my
right?
air horn noise.
Will's been around for quite a long time. He sent us he's been a Patreon for a
For a
while.
long time.
Yeah.
He's a beauty.
And he's also
He was.
sent us
I'll tell you this. He had a little bit of a fall from grace for a while because he's an admin on our Facebook group.
Yep.
I think he is.
Is he?
Is he?
I thought that's why he got fucking theory of the
I
week.
think so. I think he's
I've,
one.
I've lost count.
Oh, is
I think
it?
we got like 4 or 5 admins. I kind of lose count.
If he's one of the admins, he was one of the ones letting in a lot of those Epstein memes early on. I know that was.
We hadn't taken a stand yet.
No, we had not taken the stand.
But hey, he's come back. Thanks for supporting the show.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
And yes, 1984 is the best year.
Here's a quick sales
So he
pitch.
knows.
If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/Alien Theorist Podcast. We got quite a bit of stuff on there now,
Including bathwater.
including
Yeah.
for $88 a month, Braden's vial
Coming
of
soon.
bath water.
Yeah.
Which actually comes in a
Smells like-
solid,
It
unfortunately.
smells like if you open the bottle, it smells like shit and a little bit of Pert Plus 2-in-1.
And we are also streaming the show live. It's live for Patreon, but if you want to check out the videos, they release the same day as the podcast on YouTube. So if you want to see 4 faces for radio, Babylon about God knows what, knock yourself out. And last thing, Zell's Band of the Week. If you have original music, any genre, not picky, you can't be signed to any major label. You got to be independent. And I will, if you send it to alientheorist@gmail.com with music submission as a subject, I will review and try and get, I think I've put almost everyone who's submitted. So submit. Not a lot of people are doing it, so your chances are high. This week, though, I got a band called Common Minds. I actually recorded and mixed and mastered this song. So they're a band from Vernon, BC, just north of Kelowna. And it's a pretty dope rock band. And I am pretty proud of the result. It's fun. Look them up on
All right.
Spotify. That's it.
All right. Okay.
Wait. No, I'm just kidding. I'm done.
You don't want to go through each
good?
band member and their bios.
All right, yeah,
and-
I can go through each band member and give them a
Tell us a
backstory.
little bit of bio of each
I'll give you some
one.
The
producer
lead
credits.
singer's Marco Camaro, right?
No,
All
that's
right. As we always say at the end of these things, keep those eyes on the skies. Thanks,
Oh
everyone.
yeah.
Stuck in the program, the scorpion, it hatches. Can you feel within something is stirring? Look to the sky, hear us cry. The heavens awake, our souls you will take. I see the way you look down on me. Look at yourselves, and what do you see? You gotta walk to me. Ripped and I'm torn and I'm scared and I know your name. I'm pissed and I'm fine and I'm crying, but it's all the same. It's clear that there needs to be means to take you down. But all I can really do now is I can't believe that no one can see that this is all fake. We've made a mistake. You trust all the power. We've reached the ninth hour. Your nightmares come true. There's nothing you can do. Ripped and I'm torn and I'm scared and I know your name. I'm pissed and I'm fine and I'm crying, but it's all the same. It's clear that there needs to be means to take you down. But all I can really do now is lacking the will to live, lacking the will to die. I see you hesitate. Those hostile words will see you fade. Ripped and I'm torn and I'm scared and I know your name. I'm pissed and I'm fine and I'm crying, but it's all the same. It's clear that there needs to be means to take you down. Is it just me or is everyone acting Stuck in the program, the scorpion, it hatches. Can you feel within something is stirring?
Man, that sunset is gorgeous.
Grill, patio, sunset. Hard to get better than that. Unless you're browsing Carvana's inventory while you soak it all in.
Oh, burger time.
So sit back, get comfortable. Carvana's got thousands of cars under $20,000 just waiting for you.
I could stay here forever.
Carvana, where car buying meets comfort, meets convenience. Download the app or visit Carvana.com today. The comfort of your favorite seat is now your comfy car selling command center, thanks to Carvana.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Your favorite seat's the best spot in the house. Make it even better by entering your license plate or VIN and getting a real offer in minutes.
There really is no place like home.
And speaking of home, Carvana will pick up your car from yours after you finalize your offer. Visit Carvana.com or download the app and sell your car from your comfy place.